Hi, my name is Raymond. Welcome back to another episode. Before we get into it, let's do a wrist check. I'm wearing a Nomos glass shoot. It's a 38.5 millimeter manual wind. I just purchased this a few days ago from a customer. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or sell it. I don't have manual winds in my collection at the moment. I do like it. I've been wearing it for about 4 days now. What do you think? Should I keep or should I sell? I think it looks pretty good on my wrist. Well, I got to take it off for now. I got to get into some polishing, so I don't want to get it dirty while I'm polishing it. So enjoy the episode. One was polished. That one was polished too. This one was never polished.
So polished is good or bad?
Like it depends how you like it.
You don't want polished coins.
Okay, well with watches, if it's something rare and you're never going to come across it, it's better not to polish it.
Right.
But if it's something like this that's common, that made millions of them, I'd rather polish it, make it look nice like new.
Sure.
It just depends on rarity and value too. Like see something like that because it's already getting old. It's about 30, almost 40 years old. And it's not super rare, but it is rarer than most watches. It's better to keep in original condition like that. So.
Okay, and those will probably hold their value pretty well for.
They do. So a lot of watches, you want to buy them pre-owned.
Yeah.
Because you're paying a good amount to where if you need to cash out, you're going to get close to all your money back and maybe the same amount. You're going to lose quite a bit.
Like a car.
Yeah. Except Rolex. Yeah. Rolex is the only brand that if you buy new, a lot of models actually trade above retail.
Is that right?
But you can't buy them new because they never have them in stock. It's just how it is.
Your prices are competitive because if we were to compare them to online prices or other.
I'm usually.
If you were in Atlanta.
I'm usually so these are already below what they actually sold them for. I'm always doing research. I want to see what's out there, and of course I compare condition. I compare what it comes with, like zap box and papers and stuff like that. So yeah, my prices are extremely competitive. Yeah. That's why you never, in general. 90% of our watches or more are gone in less than 3 months. They're not in stock for longer than 3 months. And
in terms of making sure that it's authentic, you can take that to the bank. You've already checked all of that.
Of course. So we're not just going to, cash out $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for something without inspecting it.
Right.
We inspect everything. Even if it's a $500 watch, we have to inspect it, make sure it's legit. We've been in business over 100 years. Yeah. So obviously we're not going to ruin our reputation for $2,000, $3,000 and shut down our business because of that. Also, can we make a mistake? Sure, it can happen. Anybody can make a mistake. We're obviously not going to make a mistake on things that we've sold over, 1,000 times the same model, right? Yeah. So if we do ever make a mistake like that and it's confirmed, we stand behind it for lifetime as far as authenticity comes. And we have to. That's just the way to do it.
So I've seen your videos where they show a fake, and some of the fakes are pretty obvious.
Yes, and some of them are not.
Yeah,
there's a lot of good fakes out there in everything. Yeah. So.
Okay, well, I'll come back again.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Let us know. Okay, we'll be happy to help out. Check out this Omega Seamaster Diver 300. Customer came in early this morning and I had my camera rolling when he came in and we had a little bit of a heated discussion about it. He brought it in, he said we serviced it and the watch is not keeping good time. And I talked to him a little bit about it. I asked him, well, do you keep it in a box or are you wearing it every day? First he said he's keeping it in a box. Then he changed and he said he's wearing it every day. I told him, well, if you keep it in a box for 2 to 3 days, the mainspring is completely gone. It doesn't have power. So when you pick it up, it's a good practice to unscrew the crown and to manually wind it. Like realistically, with these newer watches, they have such a long mainspring. If you want it to run like 24 hours, you can wind it like this forward like 45 times. On an older Omega, you can wind it 15 to 20 times and it'll run a full 24 hours. But the newer modern Omegas, they have a very long mainspring. So you got to wind a lot. And then close the crown, put it on the wrist, and wear it every day. If you're wearing it every day, day by day, you're not going to need to manually wind it every morning. But if you put it back in your box for 2 to 3 days, again, there's no power in the mainspring. It's not sufficient that you just pick it up, shake it a few times, and put it on the wrist. It has no power. So what I was trying to tell him is that it's probably stopping because of that. So, you know, we looked inside because we do sign the watches. We serviced this watch in September. Now it's March, so it's been 6 months. So he's come to us now stating now that it's stopping. But so we opened up the watch and we looked, and we can see it through the back, but I didn't really look at it closely. But when we opened it up, we inspected everything, and the hairspring was actually bent. And these use like a silicone hairspring, so it's not like blued steel or something like that that can get magnetized. So it wasn't magnetized. He dropped it. There's no other way how a hairspring is going to be bent like that or tangled in itself unless he drops it. So, you know, I look for signs to see if it was dropped. I can see like there's little dents here, you know. Obviously, that's a sign that he dropped it or he hit it against something very hard. But sometimes, unfortunately, customers are not completely honest about what they do to their watches. He came back, he was a little bit upset and this and that the watch is not keeping time. Or, of course, it's not going to keep time if the hairspring is bent or it's tangled in itself. It's either going to run fast or it can actually stop completely. So it was a quick fix for us. We repaired the hairspring and put it on the timing machine. It's perfect again. But like, again, we got into a little bit of a heated discussion. You know, we try to take care of our customers, but, you know, he failed to tell us that he dropped the watch. And since he dropped it, that's why it hasn't been working properly. But anyways, we took care of it, and we're not going to charge him anything. So probably going to call him tomorrow and tell him to come pick it up. Ready to go. He likes it?
Yeah.
That's good. Let me see. Yeah, just a little bit. Let me push in a little bit on the crown.
No, he likes it the same way.
He likes it like that? Okay.
It's too loose, but
Let me show him. Unscrew the crown.
وقتی می‌خوای چیز کنی اینو برمیگردونی عقب.
Okay. Once it's unscrewed, you move forward to wind it. You do like 20, 25 times. Move into the first position is to quick set the date. But wow, today's the 25th already. Okay, when you pull in the second position is to set the time. 101. Push in. And now when you lock this, you push, hold, and turn to screw it in like a water bottle. So water doesn't go inside. Let me check the back, double check, make sure it's closed. So we actually serviced this too.
Oh,
yeah, I serviced it for him. When I bought it, the watch was perfect. The only thing is it was dry. So we did complete overhaul service, so he doesn't need to do anything for at least 5 years.
5 years. Next 5 years you need a service.
Is he okay? Because it looked like it was a little bit loose.
think it's
I would
too
say
loose.
make it a little bit tighter, but
That's it. No, he likes it this way.
he likes like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell him to keep it on the wrist.
Keep it on your wrist.
He can come back in a day or two. We can readjust. Let me.
No problem.
This is the most important thing for this watch is the paperwork. The model number 16233. Serial number.
Okay, no, this is good.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, we went to Japan.
What's that?
We just came back from. I came back from Japan a few days ago.
How was it?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I want to go to
Nice,
Japan
yeah.
too. Welcome back. We're going to answer some questions now that we had from our last video, and actually previous video we had some questions that we didn't answer, so let's go ahead and answer some of these. One of them was regarding watches and wonders, if I have any predictions. You know, I've been working full-time with my dad for like 20 years, and then, you know, when I was younger I was always around the shop and around watches and stuff like that. That's something that I've never actually done. I don't even think about that, like to, make predictions for new releases from companies and stuff like that. The reason I don't do that is that there are so many watches out there. Like, for example, if you go, just let's take an example, Jaeger-LeCoultre Ultra, JLC. Go on their website and do a research of some of their current models and what they have in their catalogs. There are so many watches out there, plenty to look at, plenty to search out. I know people are always excited what's new, what's going to be released by companies. It's not that I'm not excited about new releases. It's just my point that I'm trying to get across. I never try to make predictions of what companies are going to come out with, because there's already so many watches out there that from years past that I have not even seen all of them. And sometimes, like when I have free time at night, I'll go on a website like from Zenith or JLC or other companies, just random companies, and I'll look up to see what they're having in their catalogs, and I'm amazed at some of the watches that we haven't even seen, So people are always it's just too much out there. People are just wanting new and new and new releases, but there's so much to explore that has already been released, and we haven't looked over. So let's move on to another question. I'm curious, even if a watch is a replica, it still has a movement. If it's a good movement, not a cheap Chinese movement, why is it a lot of watchmakers won't work on a fake? If the customer knows and likes the watch, it is really that frowned upon to service or work on the watch for them. So many years ago, it's been over 15 years that we kind of stopped working on replica watches, and the only reason we did it is to kind of please our customers, to make them happy. But all that did is always kind of open a can of worms, because for the majority of part, replica watches are poor quality. So you open them up trying to fix one thing, something else breaks, and then the customer is upset with us. There's times that we did that, fixed the watch for a client, and they come back 1 month later and say, oh, you didn't do it right. It's not that we didn't do them right, it's that the quality is very bad on replica watches. So we kind of took the blame for that. So we stopped working on them. And sure, now they have what's called super clones. They make them very good quality, but still, we don't want nothing to do to associate ourselves with the replica watches. Reason being is that we don't want to help support that industry. So if we're part of supporting and helping that industry, what does that say about us? So a lot of watchmakers are on the same page, even though that super clones are well-made replicas, and sure, we can fix them. We try not to, because we're helping that industry, we're supporting that industry, so we're trying to stay away from that. And also, like I did answer this person on YouTube, but I'll answer through here as well. So I know there are people that are good meaning, they just can't afford, a real Rolex, so they'll buy a replica, and their intention is not to defraud somebody. But then they're still helping that industry, which people involved in that industry, they're frauding other people. So, they don't intend to cheat anybody. They don't intend to resell that watch. They're buying it because they want to enjoy it, but sometimes these watches get stuck in storage units, or sometimes a person passes away and their family members, they come across them and they think they're real, and sometimes they'll try to resell them. For the most part, I want to say that people are honest, but then you have the people that are dishonest, and then they try to pass that on as a real watch. So we don't want anything to have to do with that industry that sells fake watches. We don't want to help them. We don't want to fix those watches and have them end up with somebody that's trying to defraud somebody else. Another question. Hi Raymond, my question for you is it normal to fully wind a brand new 3230 no date sub movement and still not have the second hand run? Unless I tap it gently once, it's annoying as it keeps perfect time and runs perfectly, but whenever I let it sit for a long time, the winding takes 60 or more turns and the second hand doesn't start until I tap it. Yeah, it's normal. There's nothing wrong with the watch. One of the things is with the mainsprings that are used in watches nowadays, it's not that the mainspring is weak. They're made differently. They're longer than on older timepieces. So The mainsprings are a lot longer because they're made to last longer, like to have a longer power reserve, like a 72 hours, where in the past a lot of watches only had a 32 to 42 hour power reserve. The mainspring was shorter. You'd wind it 15, 20 times, it'll take off. The mainspring essentially was stronger. So the mainsprings used nowadays are longer. I don't want to say that they're weaker, but it is normal for a watch, for example, if it hasn't been used for a while, to just kind of freeze up. There's nothing wrong with that. You can kind of gently set the balance wheel in motion. That's it. It's normal. So wind it all the way. If it doesn't start, just set the balance wheel in motion. So that happens with a lot of watches. Again, it doesn't mean that it needs service. It doesn't mean that anything's broken. It's just kind of because it was sitting for a long time and it wasn't used. It can do that. Nothing wrong with that. Set the balance wheel in motion by just gently shaking it, and you're fine. So it is normal.
Minute.
Yeah, the minute hand's
hand
all bent.
touch- yeah, bent because
Yeah.
touching the sweep second hand. Let's see if it's not breaking.
It seems like it's running by okay
Yeah.
now. I don't know what happened once upon a time.
What are you wearing, Scott? You want to do a wrist check for us?
Sure.
Come up here, bro. I'll put the mic right.
This is an Omega blue side of the moon, right? And it's a ceramic case, sapphire crystals. I liked it because of the moon phase.
Yeah.
We have some pocket watches, 16 size. Illinois, Elgin, Waltham, and one Omega. Omega's silver case. And we have one Illinois with Montgomery dial. We have one Elgin BW Raimond, 19 joules, 5 position. And another Elgin with Montgomery dial, which is old watches. I put the price between $275 and $325 each. We have another pocket watches tray from 0 size to 16 size. Some of them are hunting case, and they are on sale for $175 right now. We reduced the price. They are all working condition, complete service. And also we have 18 size chrome nickel cases made in USA. These are 18 size before 1900 made. Elgin, Waltham.
So this Tudor Black Bay 58, we are asking $3,000. Here we have a 1988 Rolex GMT Pepsi 16750. We're asking $12,400 on this. The dial and the hands have a nice creamy patina, all consistent throughout. We got this Speedmaster Reduced, which is in really mint condition. It's got a sticker on the crystal. It's got a newer updated bracelet. Originally these came with a different bracelet. So this is an updated bracelet. This one is from 1999. We're asking $3,200. A little bit of a premium on this, but again, the condition is just amazing, and it's full set, box and papers. All right, so here we have an Omega Seamaster Diver GMT. This is from 2006, full set, box and paper. This model is kind of not very commonly seen. Condition is mint also. We're asking $3,800 on this. And here we have an Omega Seamaster from 2013. This is the smaller 39mm size, complete box and paper. It has the teak design teak wood dial. Beautiful watch, mint condition also. And we're asking $3,500 on that. This is another boy size Omega Seamaster coaxial blue dial, full set, box and papers. We just got this in, haven't priced it yet, but I mean, just a quick sell, we would do like $3,500 on this. Also in mint condition, full set, box papers. This is a Rolex Cellini, manual wind, 18K gold, from around 2005. This is watch only. We're asking $10,000 on this. All right, so we also picked up a few micro brands again this week. We got like these two brand new Lauriers, and I've had these before. I like this micro brand. They do a good job with their watches, very solid. Traska, this is a micro brand I've never had before. This is a Hey Tomb. I've never had this micro brand before. Here we have a Marathon watch. They make all kinds of military watches. This is a quartz, smaller sized watch. And we have a few odds and ends, different things we picked up. We picked up this Seiko Alpinist. Quartz, was made only for the Japanese market. A few different Seikos that we bought, a Citizen Bullhead. So stuff like that, odds and ends, all kinds of watches. Let me show you what sold on eBay last night. Okay, I don't know. Let's see if we sold anything on Chrono24. I don't think we had any sales. All right, so Chrono24, quick check to see if we have any offers or anything like that. Make it 1,000. I'll pay the shipping. I mean, I just told the client I'm 1,500 into this down. He said make it 1,000. Sorry, but I am 1,500 into the dial. If you want, we'll do it direct. Save them. I can't. Anyways, I'm interested in this Datejust. Do you have any more information about past ownership or service prior recent? I'm local in the Bay Area. Hello. It was serviced about 2 months ago by an authorized as Longa watch repairman. All right, so here we have an anchor, which this was kind of a novelty thing given away with Submariners. Rolex doesn't do that anymore, but these are really cool. This one is a gold tone one, so it came on a solid gold Submariner. They're actually hard to find. We were asking $349. We accepted $285. I got to get this shipped out today. There is a post office close to us. There's one across the street, but they close at 2 and it's almost 2. There is a post office that closes at 4. So hopefully I can get these wrapped up and shipped out before 4 p.m. today. This vintage Caravel sold for $500 bucks. Hold on real quick. Paul's Watch Repair. This is Raymond.
Yeah, what time do you close today?
We close at 2, so we'll be closing like 7 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Monday, 9 to 5, we open.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, bye-bye. All right, so let's continue. We sold this Caravel. We were asking $650 because it's really nice condition. The loom has an even patina throughout, stuff like that, but we accepted an offer of $500 bucks. We want to keep stuff moving. We don't want to hold on to it forever. Here's a nice Patek Philippe book that we sold for $95. We were asking $125. Customer sent me an offer of $95. I accepted it, but it just goes to show that like stuff like this, people like stuff like this. Some of these are just catalogs. Some of these many years ago, they were given away for free, but you can't find them anymore. And there's like a wealth of knowledge that you can learn from stuff like this. So it's always good, like, to get books like this. There's so much that you can learn. And one of the things that you can learn is, like, you know, what originally some watches, what they came with, what kind of bands, Did they come on metal band, leather strap, stuff like that. So again, a wealth of knowledge. So we sold that for $95. And what else did we sell? Oh, this, you saw this in the last video. So this was part of that $3,500 lot that I bought in Rolex parts. I put it up for $400. Somebody sent me an offer of $300. I actually got a few offers, but $300 was the highest offer, and I just listed this last night. $300 is cool. So that brings our total down from that $3,500 Rolex lot. So I'm basically in at $3,200 now. Sold all these dials. Hopefully it's going to go to somebody that can put them to good use. I don't know if they're going to refinish these and just put diamonds on them or whatever. Or maybe they're just going to use them for art. I don't know. But anyways, these are going out. I'm going to ship these out. That's about it. Kind of slow. Not a lot of sales. And on our other eBay account, I checked that we didn't have any sales. So now I'm going to wrap these up, get them shipped out today.